everybody. So instead of getting off to my video title, let me quickly summarize and bring people up to speed just a little bit on this series here called Titan Hoppers, which is the name of the first book. So basically you have a fleet of ships that follow along with this giant artificial planetoid and have to use it and rely upon it for resources that are found within it. It is, however, infested with traps and monsters, with the creators of these titans long gone. The ships apparently do not have any faster than light capability, so they can't just go to any old solar system and hope to find resources there. They are pretty much stuck just following this titan around and dealing with it. This is the characters in the book are able to open up what are called gates. There are 5 of them for 5 levels of power. That's what a gate looks like right there, a crest. And at the 5th gate, you're basically a godlike being. And I was pretty much right on par. It's easy to guess. 1st gate, 2nd gate, 3rd gate. So there's some leveling up going on here. This is an introductory and training. This is a dungeon crawl, which puts a lot of the characters from this book together in this book and form a team, become friends, a lot of camaraderie, and go through danger together and bonding, big time bonding. Even people who butt heads. I have a video for each one of those first 2 books. So we come to the 3rd book, and the problem I have with it is something I've noticed in YA books. I haven't read that many, but this is such a prominent feature of them that it even glares out to me. I can see this. You see it in Harry Potter in the Goblet of Fire. It's a magical land, and they decide to have some kind of competition amongst schools. And it works in that setting. It's a high school, basically, or junior high and high school, basically. Then you see the Hunger Games. There's a dystopia, and they have a competition to help keep people in line, and really to demonstrate their technology they have and the power they have over them. But so it's not hard to see it that this has become a big time trope in YA books, that they set everything up just to have a choosing and a competition, and I wonder if this wears on people a little bit, because I'm not even reading YA stuff, and I can see this. It's like this overused trope. It even surprised me when I tried to read a book called Heavenbreaker, that I'm like, oh, they're going to do this and this? It didn't sound like that in the description at all. So here they have a competition. There's a home fleet, they call it. There's a group on the Titan. They call themselves the Black Cloaks, or that's what they're called, is the Black Cloaks. And then there's this other fleet called the Raider Fleet. And someone suggested to the other, they want a piece of the Titan called a wing. There's these 4 things sticking out of it, and they call it a wing. And the Raiders want that wing. Well, the home fleet already has it. So somebody suggests a duel. Only the duel takes the form of this competition where the gates will compete against each other. Well, it was really kind of forced in there. Now it functions, and in fact, the lead guy, Iro, of all these books, he had, in a previous book, ran into someone who, in the Titan, they had a real fight, and he lost and had possession taken from a sword that belonged to his long-lost sister. And so he has to face off against her, and oh boy, was I cheering for him. There's character development, there's leveling up, there's both during and outside the competition. And so this function, it just did not fit in there at all with anything. They could have succeeded in doing everything that this book does if they would have just had them combating each other on this Titan for the resources they're both after. There was no reason to do it this way. It just doesn't sit in there very well. And then this sort of unlikelihood of during the competition, the Raiders have an emperor, and he's a 5th gator. The whole fleet has one of their own. So when one of his people loses, the emperor stands up and right there in front of everyone just kills them. They're like, well, this doesn't work. It's like, why isn't the other side even complaining? They don't even. This would be like countries who are at war with each other still showing up with representatives to the Olympics, and then when their guy loses a 100-meter dash, they shoot him dead on the spot. It just doesn't fly very well, even in the midst of all this, you know, hocus pocus, super science fiction stuff. It doesn't sit in there very well. However, that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy the book. I actually liked it very much. It's just that one aspect of it doesn't sit in there very good. It does set up, like I said, we got some people reaching their third level. It does set up a very ominous villain to be dealt with in the later books. There are going to be 6 of them. There's some little tidbits about something called the 61% protocol, whatever that is. We're going to find out. We have a betrayal happens here, people switching sides, all in a very nice drama that works out very well in all these books. I'm enjoying this very much. And I don't know, like I said, there's going to be 6 books. I am not sure when the 4th book is due. I tried to look it up and find out and could not find a thing. So that is the 3rd book, though, Fleet Champions by Robert J. Hayes. Good stuff. I keep calling him Robert. It just says Rob J. Hayes. I have been enjoying Blame manga. This, as people say, there's dialogue in it, but it's lacking. It's a low in dialogue, and don't have an incredible amount of character development in it. But it's well worth going through it. This is a trot through a megastructure. A huge megastructure, a solar system apparently sized megastructure, looking for something. It's being automatically built by itself. It just builds itself and gets bigger and bigger. And this fellow here is looking for something that will allow him to stop its growth and escape the megastructure. He is equipped with a gun that, when he shoots something with it, it is not just obliterated, but so is the thing behind it, and the thing behind that, and sometimes the thing behind that. This, the price of admission alone is worth it just for how this looks. The interior artwork is just incredible by an actual architect who decided to do some science fiction. A lot of manga, if you flip through, sometimes you get these amazing pieces of cover art, and sometimes you don't. But you flip through it and the artwork is just sort of there. Not so with this. This is worth it by itself just to look at it. There's things in here you could take off the page and sell it as a poster. It's so good. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I never noticed because I haven't read a lot of manga. Oh, this smells so good. Is it the ink or the paper? I don't, maybe that one big page with nothing but, yeah, they just smell wonderful. Yes, I'm a book smeller. Shut up. And so this one I actually managed to find in the store. This one I had to order. There's not a lot of these sitting in bookstores, so good luck if you decide to indulge. Up next, Jim Butcher, Stormfront. This is the Dresden Files. I read this many years ago, and I remember liking it and telling myself, well, every once in a while when I'm a little bored, I'll pick another one up, and I never did. It came across to me as DC Comics John Constantine, but light, like a light version of it. Didn't quite bang for me. But a lot of people have kept up with the series. It's a long-running series now, and they tell me that it's around book 4 or 5 that things really start to come together and take off. So I'm going to give it a go. I've already bought the 2nd book. This has been sitting on my shelf for some years now. And so I went ahead and bought the 2nd book in anticipation that I'm just going to, and this is just really horrible and doesn't do anything for me. I'll continue on and I want to give it a push and a go, because I'm in the mood for arcane stuff, not just fantasy, but some good urban fantasy, and this should fit the bill. And that is it for me. I don't have, oh, there's a new phrase that some, her name is Mrs. Pizza Reads, that's her channel. And she did a video that just posted today where she goes, I'm not calling it a TBR, as in to be read anymore, because she's too much of a mood reader, and that's what I am. And she goes, let's call it a pile of possibilities. I'm stealing that for myself. That's a pile of possibilities. I was going to read a whole other trilogy, and then one day I just started thinking about Dresden Files and what people were saying about it. I'm like, well, I can go off to the side when I'm reading Dresden. And that's the way that works when you're a mood reader. Thank you very much. Have a good week, good weekend. Bye-bye now. Let's see if I can hit the button this time. Here we go.